So I thought that I would make a little bit of a like vlog type everything I knit in a week or something like that kind of video. I don't know if that would be the name for it, but that type of vlogish video. It's been a while since I made a vlog. I used to do a lot of like reading vlogs and stuff like that. So I thought I'd get back into it. I am finding my knitting mojo again, and it's all thanks to this one pattern that I started 3 nights ago, I think now, and I'm flying through it. It's knitting itself. I'm really enjoying it, and if I'm doing something else during my day, like the only thing I can think about is knitting on that sweater. So I'll show that to you, and I thought I'd just bring you along, basically show you how I fit knitting into my life as a student, as a mom, and all of that jazz. How to like fit knitting into your life, basically. Or at least how I manage to get some knitting done. So today it's Monday, and Iris, my daughter, she is at preschool right now, and usually when she's at preschool, and Simon, my partner, he's working, usually when they're not home, or at least when Iris is not home, I'm studying. It's usually how it goes. We're so close to graduation now. I have like 2 or 3 weeks left, something like that. So we're really working hard on like our last big paper that we need to hand in, which is like I don't know what the English word would be for it. It's definitely not a thesis, but like the equivalent of the thesis part when you're doing studies in like lower education. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but we're doing like a big paper that we've been spending basically all our studying time from New Year's up to graduation in June. We've been spending on that paper, so it's a big like paper. So usually when Iris is at preschool, me and my writing partner were at the computer on Zoom, just working on that. But today, or I should say this, on Friday, we handed in our like second draft of the entire thing. So now we're just waiting to like get the feedback on that. So until we have the feedback, there's really nothing we can do. So today I have an entire day, or at least like from 9:30 in the morning to 15, like 3 in the afternoon, and when I need to go pick Iris up from preschool. I have all the time to myself today. So I have been getting caught up on some things that I needed to do today. I did a workout, took a shower. I have been like sorting through some stuff and all of that fun time. And I am now just about to film a little book haul for you. Hopefully that's already up and live on the channel by this point. But yeah, I'm gonna do that now after this little vlog intro, and then I'm gonna get knitting. I need to get Iris in like 1.5 hours. So hopefully I get at least 1 hour of knitting in. We'll see. But yeah, the thing that is bringing me happiness when it comes to my knitting mojo right now is this. I'm gonna show it to you. At least try. Okay, I'll turn you around. Hang on. So this is the Salty Days sweater by Kutowakika. I'm knitting it in heavy merino from Knitting for Olive in the color navy, which I love. And I know that it's not optimal to use dark color for texture, but this is just what made my heart sing, so I'm just going for it. So yeah, it's this textured dropped shoulder sweater that has like a 2x1 ribbing section. Then it has some eyelets, and then there are some fun little square eyelets, and then some more eyelets. And I'm now just starting the section where there will be a cable, or more than one cable, but like the cable little section that's gonna go here. And this is the back. looks the same. Has this little nice shoulder construction here with eyelets going across. Yeah, like I said, I started this like 3 nights ago, I think, and I just can't stop. I just have to keep going. It's very addictive because it's like, oh, I'm just gonna finish this section, and then you're knitted this much in like less time than you actually had. But I thought I'd just bring you along this week. I'm not gonna film like every single time I sit down to knit because that video would be long. But like, so you get the gist of it, how my knitting week looks. I'm on my way to pick up Iris from preschool. I'm wearing my summer Felix pullover over a dress, and this is making me think. This is a linen, pure silk cotton thing. This is making me think I should finish the black one I'm making. I walked by an older lady and she looked at me like I was crazy for talking to myself. So I stopped. But yeah, I'm wearing my summer Felix and I'm working on a black one. I finished the yoke. I'm on the body and I'm making them super cropped, so it's not a lot of knitting left. And wearing this one, which is the only summer knit I have, makes me really feel like I should work on the black one instead of like a full length textured merino sweater. So we'll see. But I feel like I might still work on the Salty Day sweater tonight. But maybe I'll squeeze some knitting time in this week for the black summer sweater as well. We'll see. It's like 8 o'clock at night and this is my prime knitting time usually during the days. Iris is asleep and this time of day is like when me and Simon decides if we want to do something together or if we want to do something apart. And usually, to be honest, we end up doing like our own recovery, own time. So I'm usually knitting or reading and he's usually gaming or something like that. And that's what we're doing tonight. So I'm gonna be knitting. I'm gonna keep going with the section of the sweater that is the cabled section. I'm hoping to finish that tonight, and then I think I'll move on to the collar. I also switched, so this isn't my summer. I just saw myself, so I remembered it, that I switched my sweater. This isn't the summer version of the Felix anymore. It's still a Felix in kind of the same color, but this is in heavy merino because it got colder and we were outside on the playground and the sun wasn't on the playground itself, so it was a little bit colder, so I switched to a wool sweater. Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep knitting away on this. You can't see it, it looks black and you can't see anything because it's so dark. Also, this is the perfect time for me to like catch up on podcasts and stuff like that, so I'm usually watching a knitting podcast or another YouTube video or like TV show of some sort. Right now I am watching Lena Norm's new video where she talks about book recommendations, and after that I think I am going to catch up on Laura Penrose because I have a few episodes that I haven't seen because I've been doing other things. So yeah, I think I'll do that. It's the next day and we've been studying all day, so I haven't been knitting anything, but it's now like just past 1 o'clock and I need to leave at like 3 to go pick Iris up, and there's sunshine on the balcony again, so I'm heading outside. I have my little lunch. I did like an avocado egg toast thing, super quick, super nice, and I'm just gonna bring that into the sunshine, eat it, and then knit. I had a situation last night. Ignore the laundry. I had a situation last night. I should have shown you, but I was so frustrated that I totally forgot about it. I was writing to Francesca on Instagram, And I was like, what do I do? Because it was so sad, because I realized I'm working on the cabled section of the Salty Day sweater, and I realized that I had twisted one of the cables the wrong way, and it was the like, whoops, I dropped you. And it was the one that's like in the middle of the front, so it was so visible. And I was like, do I now tear out like 10 rows of cable knitting? So I had a bit of a meltdown because I wasn't thinking clearly. I was just frustrated. So I had a little break. I wrote to her and she was like, you should just watch a tutorial on YouTube and you can probably fix it. And I fixed it. So I'm very, very happy about it. I was so frustrated. I should have like vlogged that part, but I didn't. So thank you to the woman who did the tutorial for saving my ass, and thank you, Francesca, for giving me the idea. I was going to like try to drop down and try to fix it. I don't know why I didn't think about like watching a tutorial. That was Francesca's idea. I was just frustrated, I think. So yeah, I fixed it. I'm happy about it. So I'm gonna have some lunch, and then I think I'm gonna pick up for the collar, actually. I have like 1.5, almost 2 hours of knitting. And hopefully, we don't really have to study tomorrow, and then I can just knit, knit, knit. We'll see. I'm on the couch knitting and watching Eurovision, and I thought that I was doing the double folded collar of the sweater, and I'm not following the pattern in terms of like how to actually attach the fold, because the pattern suggests that you sew it down, and I did do that with some sweaters, and I feel like it doesn't really get flexible, which you kind of need to get the sweater over your head. You need to be really careful when you're sewing it to get it flexible. So I usually knit it down instead, which is not a part of this pattern. So I thought I'd show you how I do that, because I'm not giving away any pattern secrets or anything, since this is a method that is not included in the pattern. It's something that I substituted in. So I thought I'd try to show you how I do it, if you're interested. So we'll see if this works, because you're now in between me and the knitting, and every time I move I feel like you're gonna go like this. It's not the most professional setup, but I'll try to show you. So this is the front, and this is the right side of the sweater. I have just folded that and like out, basically. Instead of like folding everything in, I just fold it down so that I get the part that I am gonna knit at the top, basically. And I've already done half the row because I forgot that I should show you this. And I start by trying to see, because you don't want this to go skewed, you want them to like align. So what I do, because on the right side the stitch that is knit will be a purl on the wrong side, so I just follow this purl, this like purl or this knit, and I make sure that I have like the corresponding one at the bottom, like on the other side over here, but on the inside, if that makes sense. So I have here a purl stitch is my next one, so that means I'm gonna knit it together with a knit stitch on the inside. I'm not sure you can see. So I knit this knit stitch together with this purl stitch right here, and I have a knit stitch coming here, so I will knit this purl stitch with that knit stitch. So basically what I do is that I use my right hand needle, I just pick up that stitch, from the knit, put it onto my left needle, and I just knit them together. It's a little bit fiddly, but you get used to it. So I did this knit stitch, so I'll just go in between that now and do the purl stitch from the bottom with the knit stitch on my needle. So I have a purl stitch here, I'm looking for a knit stitch here, and I just keep going. And if you're very careful when you're doing like the first stitch of the row to make sure that it's the exact stitch from the like the exact same one but on the inside, then you're all good to go. You don't really have to check because it's every other stitch, so you just go around taking the next stitch. So now I have a purl stitch. The next knit stitch is this one, so I take that one, put it on my needle, and I just knit them together. And then I just go around the entire thing doing this. And what this does, instead of like sewing it down, is that it goes a lot more flexible. It's a lot stretchier, gives a little bit more of that. Good stuff. Also, when you're done with this, you're gonna have live stitches on your needle. Like all of these, I knit them, but they're live now, even though I knit them together. So the collar is folded here, but the stitches are still live. So when I've gotten around my row, I just cast off using like a stretchy cast off. I usually do Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off because I really like that one, just to make sure that I don't add any like non-stretchy things to it. I want the collar to be able to stretch over my head. So I finished it and I thought I would just show you the result. So this is the right side. You just end up with this folded collar that is like super stretchy, and yeah, you get this little like ridge on the inside where you cast off, but I really don't mind. That's how I do my folded collars. So I'm outside knitting again, because this has been a good week for me knitting wise, because we are very close to like the deadline of our final paper thing that we're writing for school, which means we're basically done, and like we're sending in a draft and waiting on feedback, and while we wait on feedback I can't really do anything school wise, so I'm knitting. So I am outside knitting, but I just wanted to show you that I am blocking. I was gonna say blocking, but that's not true. I'm actually just cleaning this, like washing it. It's the Sunday suit that I made for Iris, and it's now May, and it's very warm, and she's not gonna use it anymore. And when it's cold enough again, she'll be too big. She'll outgrow it. So I'm getting ready to put it to storage, basically. So I'm washing it, and now I'm gonna put it outside in the sunshine, hoping it's gonna dry very fast. And then I'm gonna de-pill it. That's what I do before like storing something. If I know that this is something I'm gonna be storing for a while and it's not gonna be used, I wash it and I de-pill it so that it looks crisp and very nice when I pull it out of storage. So it's in the bath, and I'm just about to pick it up and put it in the sunshine. And then I'm gonna get back to knitting. And the sun just came around the corner, so I have this my Semper sweater on right now because it was a little bit windy today, so it's a little bit colder. It's still very warm, but like it's a little bit windy. So when there was no sunshine, I was a bit cold, but now the sunshine is around the corner, so I'll probably have to take this off because it was getting warm. just came outside to knit and I realized that I did the last round wrong in my chart, so I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. So basically what I did, that like, oh maybe it's 2 rows ago, anyways, this stitch right here that's like leaning to the left is supposed to be 1 stitch over. So like my entire round where the stitches are leaning left is 1 stitch too far to the left. So I'll have to go back maybe 2 rounds and fix that, because it's definitely gonna be visible, because it's this section right here where they crisscross. So if the stitch, it's this stitch, it's here instead, so it's definitely gonna show because the crisscross isn't gonna be right. So I'll just go back 2 rounds maybe and fix it. And like usually when I have to rip back, I just remove my needle and go brrrr, because it's so much faster. But I have like a million markers going on and there's texture going on, so I'm gonna do this the safe way and just go stitch by stitch. Good morning. I was just doing, I haven't filmed anything today, but I was just doing a little like fit check. Basically I want to see how much length I want in the sweater, because the next section I am on is like knit this until there's 10 centimeters left on the total length of the sweater, so I just wanted to check my length. Oh, I'm losing stitches. I need to save them. So I thought I'd just show you when I'm trying it on. So here we are. This is the sweater, and obviously I'm wearing a striped t-shirt under, so it's not going to be optimal, but you can see the texture and the cables, and then we have this section again, and now we're just doing like repeating this rib, the 2x1 rib. You in focus. The 2x1 rib down here. Then we're gonna do this eyelet section once more, just this one, and then we're gonna keep doing the like the bottom rib of the sweater, I think. When I'm trying sweaters on, I'm lazy. I have these stitch holders, but I don't like pull them through. I just pop them on like my needle so that I can stretch. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Excuse my dirty mirror. And then I'm gonna do the sleeves. Very excited. I added like 1 or 2 centimeters to the collar, because I'll do like this, maybe you can see better. In the pattern, when I've looked at like pictures of it, I felt like the neckline was a little bit too wide for my liking, so just added a few centimeters to the neckline to make it a little tighter, which is my preference. So here we are. I like the ease. It's obviously going to grow a little bit with blocking, but I do like it. And yeah, now we're just going to figure out how much length we want, because I don't like a half cropped situation when it comes to a sweater. I want it to go like cover my bum almost. So yeah, we're gonna do basically down here, I think, or something like that. So I'm gonna keep going with the rib section. This video makes it seem like I don't do anything but knit during my week. This just happens to be one of those weeks, because like I told you, we're at the end of like my studying, and we're like sending in a draft, and then we have to wait a few days for feedback, then we're sending in a new draft, and then we have to wait a few days. And the final deadline for our like paper is next week. So we just sent in probably our last draft, and now we're just waiting to hear back with some feedback if there's like something we need to tweak. And since we're at the end, like the big things that we had to change or had to fix, we've already done. So now it's basically just a little tweaking here and there. So we're not studying that much at the moment. We're just chilling and waiting for feedback, basically. So I'm knitting a lot. And today Simon is off work, so he actually took Iris to preschool this morning. So I had a nice little sleep in and did a workout, and I had a shower, I took a long breakfast. It's just been that chill day so far, and now I'm gonna knit for a while. Then I might try to get my grease stain out of the Gib. If you've seen, I think it was 2 episodes ago I showed it, or talked about it, that I have like a big oil stain on my Gib 1, Gib 2, Gib 1 by Andrea Maury. And I was thinking of like soaking the entire thing in oil because that's the tip I got from like people at Knit Night. But now a few of you have commented telling me to at least try first to get it out with, you've all recommended Dawn, which is not something that I can get my hands on here in Sweden, at least what I could tell from Google. But now one of you said that yes, might be like a good equivalent, and that is everywhere. Like I have a bottle in my kitchen. So I'm gonna try to do that. I might do that today, and we'll see if it works. But otherwise I'm gonna knit for a while now, and later today I'm gonna go to Knit Night. I'm not sure if I'm gonna film anything there because I'm very uncomfortable filming in public and filming with like, if it was like me and my best friends hanging out, I could have filmed, but it's like me and people that go to Knit Night. And we do know each other, like we go to the same Knit Night a lot of the time, but they're not like my close friends. So I feel a bit weird filming there, so I might not, we'll see. But I'm gonna also try to go to the yarn store before, so I might take you with me there. Hello! I don't know if you can see it as clearly on camera as I can in real life, but there's a big stain here, a little bit there, a little bit here, but mostly it goes over there. So I am now going to attempt this. I have this, so let's try. I don't think I dare rubbing this anymore because I feel like I might felt it. So I think, I don't even know if you can see me or if you just can see the sweater. I think I'm gonna leave this on for a little bit and then pop this in really, really warm water. I usually do that when I block my knits. It's fine as long as you don't agitate it. Then I'm gonna let that sit there while the water cools. Then I'm gonna try to rinse this out. It's probably gonna be a lot of work because this, I know this from using it in like when I'm doing the dishes, and it's gonna be a lot of bubbles. So we'll see if we get it out. And yeah, if this doesn't work, I probably might try the oil soaking thing. But yeah, I'm gonna let this sit here for a bit and then I'm gonna put it in warm water. So now it's hanging out in the bathtub in like really hot water, and I'm just gonna let this sit here until the water is all cool, and then I'm gonna try to like rinse it very, very gently. See if it works. Also, this is the Sunday suit that I washed yesterday. I thought I'd show you the difference. So before I put like things like this to storage, that's obviously gonna be too small for Iris to use and too warm, I washed them and I used my Refresh Your Knit by Petite Knit to depill them. So I have now depilled this side, so it looks all new. Now I'm gonna go for this side. I don't know if you can see the difference, but there's not a lot of pilling on this. I just like to go over it once to make it look a little bit nicer. So I'm not sure if you can see, like this side is all smooth and nice, and this side there's like a little bit of pilling going on. I am now going to get ready and leave for the yarn store and for Knit Night. I am bringing the Salty Days sweater because a textured sweater is perfect for social knitting. No, all jokes aside, I finished the rib section that I showed you that I was doing. Now I'm gonna do a little eyelet section that I've done multiple times before in this pattern, so I think that will be fine during knit night, and then it's just a twisted rib for the rest of the body, which I can definitely do at knit night. So I'm gonna bring it. I am also bringing my, I think it's here, my black sweater. This is a summer sweater that I've talked about, but I haven't shown you, I think. It's just a simple black raglan sweater in Sandnes Garn Line and Knitting for Olives Pure Silk. And I really hate knitting with Sandnes Garn Line. I don't know why. It's just, I know why. It's like when I'm knitting with wool, I feel like it's a little bit stretchy. It's obviously, the yarn is not stretchy, but I feel like it's like it has a little bit of a give. With the line, it's so stiff. It's like when I'm trying to knit it, I have to tug, and I don't like it. But I know that I will love this finished project, and I have split for the sleeves, so I'm only like stockinette for the body now, and it's gonna be super cropped, so the body's gonna be like 15 centimeters or something like that, so it's not a lot of body. So I'm also bringing that because last time at knit night, oh, it was actually a knit brunch, I think, doesn't matter. I had just casted on the Salty Day sweater. This was last Saturday, and I was so excited about it. I was like, this is a bad idea, because I was just about to start the first chart, and I hadn't done that chart before in the project, so it's like, it's a bad idea to bring it to like a social knitting setting where you're talking to people, but I really wanted to work on it, so I brought it with me to knit brunch on Saturday. And I was there for 4 hours, and I think I managed to do 4, I'm gonna say rows, because it wasn't even joined in the round, it was just the back panel. So I think I managed to do 4 rows of that during those 4 hours, because I spent most of that time helping a woman around my mother's age, and teaching her actually how to do, she was knitting, she had just casted on and finished the ribbing on a no frill sweater by Petite Knit, and she had never made a top down sweater before. She was like, I've been knitting since the 60s and this is new. I've never done this before. And it was actually kind of fun to help her out and teach her. So she was trying to get her head around the German short rows, which she had never done before, any type of short rows. So she was trying to get a hang of that. At the same time, in that pattern, you do like raglan increases, and you do them on the purl side as well, which is a little bit trickier because you have to do like the twisted purl while doing the increase. So I was in the middle of a story, and then Simon and Iris got home, so I was distracted. And now I'm on my way to the train to go to knit night. Yes, I'm wearing the same dress for the 3rd day in a row, because I thrifted this last week and I really love it. So I'm wearing it a lot now. But yeah, I was trying to teach her how to do German short rows and the raglans on the purl side. And it took up most of my night. But I really didn't mind. It was really fun, and I think that's what the whole knitting community is, that we like teach each other new skills and help each other out. And I know that she's gonna be here tonight as well on the knit night, so I'm bringing my stockinette body project as well if I need to get some knitting in without having to think about it. But otherwise I'll be working on the Salty Day sweater. Now I'm gonna get to the train and go to the yarn store. night, and it's like 11:12 at night. And so I spent like a good 5 to 6 hours there. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it. And there were like 30 people there, I think, something like that. And there's quite a few of us now that's been like frequently going to these knit events. So there's quite a few people that I like know a little bit. So I'm almost getting tired. I'm stopping because it was a thing I could rest my arm on here. Yeah, so there's quite a few of us now that's been going to these frequently, and it's really nice to like see each other and knit and chat, and some people had wine, and yeah, it was really nice. We spent, like I said, 5 to 6 hours there, I think. We got there at like 5-ish. No, it's almost midnight. So I'm gonna go home now and sleep. But I just wanted to say that I'm on my way home. Popped on my Semper sweater because it's a bit chilly outside now. And yeah, I managed to finish the body of my sweater, the Salty Days sweater. The woman that I was telling you about, that I helped with her no frills last time, she was actually there, and she had gotten past that section, so she was on the yoke now, so she didn't really need my help. But she like bought me a glass of alcohol-free wine to say thank you for all the help last time, so that was really nice. I really enjoyed it. It was a really good time, and I managed to finish the body of my sweater. I have literally knit the entire body, including the collar, the Salty Day sweater in less than a week, which is crazy because that's a lot of knitting. But I've really been enjoying it, so I couldn't stop. I just had to keep going. Yeah. So that's just a little update for you. I'm gonna go home now, get to bed, and I'll see you tomorrow. So I thought that I would end this video here because it's now Friday. It's around lunchtime, and I am driving, as you can see. And obviously I'm not holding the phone. I have like a thing that holds it. I'm focusing on the road, but I'm on the highway, and there's not a lot of traffic because it's a normal Friday and people are at work, and so there's not a lot of traffic. It's just me cruising along, so it's fine. I'm still focusing on the road and just talking to you at the same time. So me and Iris, she's asleep in the back of the car. You can't see her, I think, but I can see her in that little mirror. She's asleep, and we are going to my sister's house for the weekend. Simon has to work, so he's not coming, but me and Iris were going. So we're gonna go for we're gonna go home on Sunday, I think. So I'm gonna be there for a couple of days, and my sister lives like a 2.5 to 3 hour drive away from us, so we don't see each other that much in person. So it's gonna be really good to actually see each other and hang out for a bit. Me and my sister, we both love Eurovision. If you're not European, I don't know if you know what Eurovision is, but like Eurovision Song Contest is a big music contest here in Europe, where a lot of European countries enter to like compete against each other, and each country gets one entry, and the winner gets to host the competition next year. And it was created, I think, I'm saying I think because I don't want to sound like a know-it-all, but I know that it was created in 1956 to like try to combine Europe again after the war, after the Second World War. So it's a really nice like tradition, and we really love it. Me and my sister. And Simon, my partner, he hates it, and her partner, who is also named Simon, he also hates it. So we usually watch it by ourselves. Like there are semifinals on the week, and then on the Saturday it's the final. We usually watch it by ourselves, so we like live chat. But then we have this tradition every year that on the Saturday when the final is, we actually like take turns going to each other's house, and we spend the weekend and we just watch the Eurovision and have a good time. We were actually going to go a couple of years ago to the final when it was in Rotterdam, but then COVID happened, so we didn't go, which was a shame. But yeah, we were going to. So yeah, me and Iris, we are on our way there now. We're in the car, we're driving. We just started, so probably 2.5 hours left before we're there. And honestly, I thought I would end this vlog here because I don't think that I will be knitting anymore this week. I didn't even bring any knitting with me because I have been knitting a lot this week. Like, just literally made the entire body of the Salty Days sweater this week, and I feel like I've done my knitting. And I actually last night when I was at midnight, I was feeling a little bit fatigued in one of my hands because I've been doing a lot of knitting this week. So I thought I would take a break. Didn't bring any knitting this weekend. I'm just gonna spend some time with my sister and her family and have a good time. So I didn't think that would be interesting to you. So I'm just gonna end this video here, and I hope that you enjoyed this. And I realize, I'm just gonna put this like disclaimer, I realized that this is kind of a cliffhanger because I didn't show you when I finished the body of the Salty Day sweater, and I didn't show you the results of trying to save my Gibbs sweater from that oil stain. I'm well aware of these things and that this is a bit of a cliffhanger. I promise you that you will see both of these things in my next podcast episode, which will hopefully not be too far away from when you see this video. So yeah, I just want to say that I am really glad that you're here. I really appreciate all of you for like watching and commenting. It really brings me a lot of joy and yeah, I really appreciate it. So just wanted to say thank you for that, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a great weekend. I was about to say, but I'm not posting this today, so it's not sure that it's a weekend for you. I hope you have a great day or night or whatever.